KILR Killer Game.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots, I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome to the World Tour featuring ProPilot 99. It's not a complete World Tour, but we do have more coverage on this than what we've had on ProPilot and ProPilot USA, where we have Western Europe. The trade-off on that is that we don't have the 29 cities that have the photorealism, and also the ground textures are more pixelated than they were in the ProPilot USA. So because they're lower resolution, that gives them more space on this on the CD-ROM in order to put more airports. So I don't know if the trade-off is worth it, but maybe you do. You can do 3D acceleration on this. Good luck. I've tried. You can play this in Windows 7. You can play this in Windows 10. I have a dual boot system, and my recommendation is having Windows 7 and having Windows 10. And it's just nice to have that flexibility. ProPilot 99 is supposed to work with the in-glide wrapper, but I haven't been able to get it to work. It just throws an error on Windows 7. On Windows 10, it just completely closes it out. So I've tried on PC emulator, where you've got the Voodoo graphics. It works. I was able to get it to work for Flight Simulator 2000, which I'm excited for, because I wasn't too happy with how the graphics were looking on that one, and I finally was able to get it to work with Flight Simulator 2000. So I'll be glad when I get back to that series. So obviously, it's working on PC emulator. And ProPilot is supposed to automatically detect that, and when you put it into full screen, it should go ahead and switch and make things look better. But I hate things that are automatic, except for cars. There is no option in here to select the graphics, and you're actually stuck with 640 by 480 resolution on here. Anything else, it makes it look smaller. So that is a big drawback compared to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I can understand if ProPilot and ProPilot USA, which is just a patched version of ProPilot, I can understand if those were just 640 by 480. But for this one, they should have added the ability to have a little bit more control with the screen resolution. So that's a letdown. If that were in there, the Voodoo 3D FX may be more reliable, as opposed to rolling a dice and hoping that it works where that doesn't. But if you play ProPilot 99 and you're able to get it with 3D acceleration, let me know what you did in the comments. And I don't mean an actual physical machine, because I think you have a better chance of it working there, maybe. But I'm just talking about emulation. Did you get it to work in PC emulator? If so, what are your settings? Maybe there's a special driver that you installed for PC emulator. I just let I'm using Windows 98. Heck, maybe it's Windows 95 that it works with. I don't know, but I've got Windows 98. This is VMware, by the way, and yes, I know it doesn't work with that. But I just let Windows 8 put the driver in there, and it recognizes it. The Windows 98 sees it, it knows it's there. Like I said, Flight Simulator 2000 uses it. So I don't know. Let me know. I would love to get this working in the 3D accelerated mode. But let's stop talking about that, and let's start talking about our flight. Okay, so this map should look familiar to you. It's the one that we've been using for all the sublogic flights that we've been doing and the early Microsoft Flight Simulator flights. Heck, I think we've been using this. I think we use this on all the flight simulators, except for Flight Simulator 4 and beyond. Once we left the default, sorry, not the default Chicago area, because we did expand into scenery disk number 9, but there's no coverage north of that. So Flight Simulators 4 and on kept going north because, hey, it's a world tour, you know, we're not going to leave anything out. So they kept going north, and after that I started using actual flight charts. But for this, at least we can continue north on it. That's at least something. But for right now, we're just using the old sublogic map because these we're following the same flight path as the Commodore 64 has been doing for right now. And then things will change, and I'll explain that when we get there. So we're here at Chicago International, and if you've been paying attention to the other simulators, our next leg is going right here to DuPage. It's a very short flight. We are not using ATC on this one. It tends not to work really well on short flights. So we're just going to do a regular flight. And I think the best way for us to get to DuPage is tuning in the Chicago O'Hare and leaving at a vector of, I'd say 260. That should get us right to DuPage. And with that, we can go ahead and get everything started. So we'll switch on the battery power, AV power. And actually, you can tune into the ATIS, which is unreadable. There it is, 135.40. Let's see, oh, it's already on there. Okay, maybe it doesn't work. Okay. Now, in case some of you have tried flying this, and it like starts and then dies and starts and dies, starts and dies. Fuel selector. This thing always defaults to the off position. So you can click on the fuel selector over here, or if you just press the F key, that will automatically switch it. On the Cessna, there is a selection for both. You would have to hit your F key twice to get it to that. On the Bonanza V35, which is what we're flying, because it's my favorite aircraft, and I want to do something different than the other Pro pilots, there's only a left and a right on this. There's not both. So we're going to switch over to, where's our fuel? Okay, so we have a little bit more fuel on the right than the left, so we're going to switch over to the right. And we mentioned that we are going to be tuning into O'Hare, which is 113.9. Let's see, 1113.9. That's the wrong direction. That's the right direction. Turn that in there. Okay. And then 260. Okay. Mouse wheel does not work for this. I don't think it was until later. Okay. 260. There we go. This is your ADF. There is not a way to change that. At least I haven't found it yet. It's another drawback from the other two propilots that they could have fixed. You've got a nav2, but you can't really make any use of it. I guess you could use it for distance, but other than that, I mean, if you wanted to do a cross reference between two navs so you can see where you're at, nope, not going to be able to. So let's get this thing started. That was not the right key. Okay, so another discovery that we made from the last episode is that I already knew that this thing is sluggish when turning, but if you use your brakes, and this one has a left brake and a right brake, and those are, the brake is the B key, the left brake is the N key, the right brake is the M key. So if you use those, it's going to make a much sharper turn, which is nicer. And no, using the rudders by itself doesn't make a difference. It's still sluggish. I tried. There we go. I normally like to fly with auto coordination off because I like to use the rudder for fine-tuned adjustments when turning. And it's nice and convenient on the numerical keypad because it's like the 0 and enter key or 0 and the period. Not here. And you can't change it. The rudder is the comma and the period on your main keyboard. To center it is the L key. So that gets to be real clunky when you're trying to control with the keyboard. If you would like to see what this looks like with 3D acceleration, I've only been able to find one video on YouTube. I played some clips on the first episode, towards the beginning before the actual flight. So check those out. That way you can get a kind of an idea of what this looks like in 3D accelerated mode. The best way to describe it is if you were to take these textures and take like a wet paintbrush and smooth it all out, that's what it would look like. And in some cases it looks good, but in other cases it looks like it's just smeared. Whoops. Yeah, it just looks like you just kind of smeared stuff on the... It looks good with the clouds, I think. But the ground just looks like it's just a big smear. So I don't know which one's better, the smear or the fact that... I mean, look at the size of these tiles here on the ground. And no, you can't make that look any better. 3D acceleration is the only way. And all it does is it just takes all those tiles and just smears them. Basically blends it together. Heck, there is more texture on this taxiway than there is on the texture on the ground. I'm getting sent messages. Whoa. Just a little. I have no idea what I'm doing there. So like the runway, for example, you know, they're not huge tiles. And so when the 3D acceleration smooths it out, it looks pretty nice. Look at the clouds. I mean, even the clouds have smaller little textures. I mean, it looks kind of okay the way this way too. But the ground... Look at the ground. Do you see what I mean? That's huge. I mean, they're about as big as farmlands. It's like miniature little plots of corn or something. Huh. Oh, there's my trim. There it goes. I'm adjusting my trim. It wasn't centered. So... that could have been a very bad takeoff. At least we can do some taxiing on this one. I didn't think I hit the brakes. On the propilot, I hadn't seen a airport with taxiways. Now, I don't know if all of the airports will have taxiways and propilot 99. I'll be impressed if it does. I think it's just going to be the major airports, kind of like how it is on Flight Simulator 2 with the sublogic scenery discs. I think we're reaching the end of the taxiway. Finally. The engine sounds aren't too bad also on here. Wrong direction. As opposed to one direction. I'm going to head over here. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to look out the... Yeah, I think that taxiway will take us... I can't tell. Everything is... The resolution is just so blocky, it's hard to tell if there's a taxiway there or if that's a runway. I can't really tell that direction either. And there's no map. No map mode. Come on! Get moving! Get moving! Not that quickly. Okay, well, maybe there was a taxiway over there. We'll take the runway. It's not like there's any air traffic. Yeah, that is a taxiway. It's not to a runway I wanted to take, but we'll take this one. That works. Come on. Move. Move. You got it. You almost got it. There we go. Almost. I think it wants to go up. But it's having a hard time. It's like... Landing gear up. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn this way. So do you see what I mean on the textures here? Just a little too blocky for my taste. And a little too green. I don't know of Chicago having that much green in the city. That was interesting. The Vor just went from this side to this side. Okay. Maybe it's because we passed right over it. Okay, we're going to get ourselves leveled off at 2,000 here. Get some beautiful external shots here. So, I mean, yeah, it does have some city textures in here, but if you compare it to ProPilot USA, that's a little better, but still it's too blocky. Well, I suppose we can tune into nav 2, 108.4, and at least find out how far away Joliet is. Sorry, DuPage, not Joliet. .7 miles? Oh crap, I think we... Where is it, over here? That might be it up ahead. Where are we at? There, okay, that's better. Yeah, I think we're approaching it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. And I think I see a runway we can line up with. Okay, let's go and turn the autopilot off. Lower our flaps, lower the landing gear. Watch as the plane flies up into the sky. One more thing of flaps. And I don't think this one has taxiways. This looks like just runways over here. It's what I would expect. If they did taxiways on all the runways, they wouldn't have room for Western Europe. But then again, they're able to do it on Microsoft Flight Simulator, so gonna go ahead, do an F7, bring our control panel down a little bit. Now we do have some surface winds. That's probably what's blowing me off course here a little bit. Yeah, those tiles look small. Huh. The stripes are on the outside. Maybe we'll use it as a parking space. Yeah, we'll just kind of park. Do like what? Parallel parking? We'll parallel park on the side of the runway. We don't have taxiways, but we do have parallel parking spaces. Whoops. I'm like trying to turn, but I'm using the wrong key. Oh. Okay. Alt P will get our parking brakes on. And switch this back. Go and shut that bad boy down. All right, so we are here at DuPage, and we can just double check if we want to. Click on position aircraft, Where are we? Zoom out. Move map. Well, I guess we can move it over this way. What am I doing? Not that way. There. Yep. See? There we are. Right there. DuPage. So, thanks for joining me. Much shorter video than the first one. And kind of want to apologize for that video. I mean, I wanted to give you guys a idea of how the ATC works and kind of how it's kind of annoying because a lot of you are going to be watching that first episode as opposed to the other one. So I want to be able to give you guys the full experience so that way you're knowledgeable in case you're, been interested in wanting to get ProPilot 99. But we're going to set that ATC aside and maybe do them on the longer flights and just not do ATC on these short ones. So hope you found this video entertaining and helpful. And if you did, or if you didn't, leave a thumbs up. I would appreciate it, and your fellow viewers would appreciate it too, because there's a lot of people out there that would love to see these old flight simulators and may not realize they're out there. So the more of you that do a like, the better chances are that they'll be able to see it on their recommended or feeds on YouTube. And in addition, subscribe. Be a part of the KILR community because we are killer. We are awesome. And ring the notification bell. That's for you. So that way you will know when the next video is uploaded to this channel. I do all kinds of videos. And I try to get them out mostly on a daily basis. Still working on some content to get that out. But trying to keep the channel as active as I can. But that's it. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next leg of our journey.